Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I was voxing my good friend Jill Ethier. By the way, if you do not follow Jill, do so. I will link up her personal Facebook page where she drops wisdom and truth bombs fucking daily. She is currently my coach, and she has a podcast called Ninja Jill Knows, and she is fucking brilliant. But we became very close through a coaching program that we were both a part of. Jesus, that was like almost 2 years ago when we first connected and stayed in touch, and she's someone who I consider very, very close and good friend. And so I was voxing Jill. We were just catching up on stuff in our lives. And by the way, Voxer, if you don't know, it is an app for your phone, which you can send, like, usually it's voice, back and forth. You can also send text and pictures, but it's really a cool app to use. Anyways, so I said something, and as soon as I said it, I was like, whew, I should do a podcast on that one. Because as soon as I said those words come in my mouth, which I'm going to tell you right now, which is the title of this podcast, something just like goosebumps, like something really like landed with that. And it was this: create an opening for the new. And Jill was sharing some stuff that was coming up in her life, and I've shared some stuff that's come up with people who attack me and hate on me and all that kind of stuff. And this isn't just like the online people that I've mentioned in the past that, attack me on iTunes reviews and, shit that's going to happen. It just is. I know I always get a bunch of you that go, I can't believe people. It's like, it's what it is. I can't believe the sky is blue. The sky is blue. Like, this is just the way it fucking works, right? But we're going to say even pre-social media days-ish or close to that time period of, I've had that happen in real life. And I was just sharing that every time that it's happened, and I've kind of like, we've washed that person out of our life or that circumstance or whatever, that it's created an opening for something new. It creates an opening for the new. So let me speak into this and give you some context so you can know what I'm talking about. We sometimes hold on to stuff that's done. Relationships, jobs/businesses, ways of being, the way that we show up in the world, the things that we like, the way we define ourselves. Sometimes we've put ourselves into this box or that person or that situation or that experience or that place or circumstance and think that it needs to stay in the box, and I can't ever empty the box and put in a new one because that's just the way I am. We've been friends since we were kids. I've been at this job for X number of years, and I'm only 12 years away from retirement. Oh God, when people tell me that shit, I'm like, holy fuck. Okay, so miserable for 12 years. Sounds like a great plan. Wait a second, that's fucked up, right? Or they've also got in the box things like, well, this is the way. It could be something simple. This is the way I've always done my hair. This is how I'm supposed to show up as a mother, wife, woman. This is the way my body's supposed to look. This is the way a woman's body is supposed to look. We've defined it into this box where there's no door and there's no way out. And we haven't even thought that maybe we can either open the door of that proverbial box or just dump that shit out and put something new in instead. And what has been true for me, and I'm going to share with you the story that I shared with Jill. So, when my husband and I were practice as chiropractors, we had our practice in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada for 14-ish years, chiropractor for 15. And it became clear to me about 5.5 years ago, that there was something different for me to be not even just be doing, there's someone different for me to be. There was a piece of me that wasn't being fully expressed, and it literally is 5.5 years later to where I'm now speaking into my phone, recording this podcast. We walked away from our practice. We closed the doors May 30th or 31st of 2016. We sold our house. We moved to Victoria, BC, Canada from Alberta. Like, we've completely overhauled our life. We are different people. We are different in every way of how we were. However, so the story in practice, we would have sometimes patients who would get mad at us. We were, we gave so much of now this piece of us of like doing more than what's expected and working so fucking hard and caring so much about the patients and the families that we had a chance to serve in our amazing community. That's just our communities have changed, right? The place and the who it is has changed, but that hasn't, and that still was back then. And we would do all sorts of things, and I'm not going to really like share this so you can go, oh, that was so great. But, you know, we do like patient appreciation days. We would take people to the movies. We would gift people. We would, you know, remember things. Like these were literally, our patients were like members of our family. And we had the honor of a lot of the families that we saw over the years because we had a wellness practice. We saw lots of children, lots of new babies. We saw lots of couples from the time when they were like not pregnant, and then by the time we closed the doors of our office, like their kids are 8 and 10, and we've been seeing their kids from the beginning, and we saw moms throughout the pregnancy, and like just like what a fucking honor to be part of their lives that we did. However, there are always people in life that will misconstrue your intentions. They will misunderstand. They will have something else going on. You will trigger them in some way, and they will attack. And you know, it could be people that like they like, you know, praised us from the mountaintops, right? And then suddenly, I don't know, something happens and they file a complaint with a chiropractic governing board. Like, it was crazy shit. It was crazy sometimes. And I'll tell you, one of the things I do not miss about my past profession, chiropractic, was our governing boards. Governing board, I should say. Provincial one for Alberta, and then one for most of them, which is just, they're fucked up. They operate out of scarcity. They essentially would be like this. If someone filed a complaint against us, they charge us too much money. They basically could say anything that they wanted to, and I had to prove that I was not guilty. Like, it wasn't like innocent until proven guilty. It was guilty until proven innocent. And it's funny, it's like as I feel myself kind of like remembering some of those experiences, it was like crazy stress, right? So we would have things like that would happen. And just know, like, our governing board has the right to revoke our license. That would mean that I would not be able to provide for my patients. I wouldn't be able to provide for my family. We had fines. I was brought up against government, like just like crazy ass shit. Well, man, I could do podcasts and podcasts for days on that shit. My point is not to go off on a tangent, which I just did with this, but my point is this, is that there were situations where, and also too, we had staff sometimes, they would just suddenly switch, or we're like the devil, or things didn't work out and we had to let someone go, and we would try for like a lot of times to try to work with somebody, and or they would just, like, Jesus, we had staff steal from us, like, just, you know, shit happens, right? And, but yeah, we were vilified. We were the bad ones. I've even had like just friendships too, where it was just like, this is no longer working for me, and you know, in different ways, that person was removed from my life, or patient was removed from our practice, or the staff member was removed, like whatever it was, right? And we sometimes, as I explained to Jill, we had to kind of eat crow, or people wanted money back, like just again, like insane stuff, right? And we did whatever we need to do just to get rid of that person, essentially. It might sound cold to you, but you know, this is someone who, or a person that had been toxic. They had maybe attacked my family. They had attacked my practice. They had attacked my style. Like, just, you know, attack the ability for me to produce for my family, provide for my community. Like, no, homie, don't play that. You can't fuck with that. You're going to have to be removed. Let me escort you and show you where the door is, right? In many different ways. And so there'll be times when those things happened, and it was crazy, right? In the practice, whenever that happened, whether it was usually when it was a staff member more than anything, but even if it was like, you know, a patient that was attacking us or something, again, something crazy, suddenly, like that afternoon, let's say if it happened in the morning, or the next day, our phones would be ringing off the hooks with new patients wanting to call into schedule. We would have more patients that would come to us and say, I'm so appreciative of you guys. Like, this has changed in my life. You know, my family life is better. Like, my whole world is better because of the care here. And I just want to let you know how much I really love you guys. Like, we would have an outpouring of that when we created this opening for the new. And it was the requirement to kind of, I worded it this way to Jill. I said it was like an energetic wash. Like, we had to either like just, and I don't mean we like saged the space. I mean, fuck, you could do that if you wanted to, but we just decided, like, this person, like, it's not working. Obviously it's not working for both parties. So we're going to wash, right? We're going to clean that person out of our life. I'm going to love them on the way out. That's okay. Or I'm maybe just going to go, please just go away. Like, this is, you know, the interaction that you're having with us or with me. It's obviously not doing you any good. So let's just say goodbye and let's just end this thing right here, right? So that energetic wash, if you will, that cleansing would create an opening for the new. It would create an opening for new patients to come in, right? Holding on to those people, trying to convince someone, trying to persuade someone, it blocked the ability for somebody else to be able to come in. Do you get that? We don't go a lot into energetic stuff here, but like, I just need you to understand that Sivan isn't like an energetic thing. This is simply principles. Like, if there is something that's blocking someone's ability to interact with you, like they can't get in. My ability to be able to express who I fully am now was because I had to remove the piece of being in practice still, because it was getting in the way and it was no longer what I wanted. And I could have stayed in that box. It would have been very easy. And we had colleagues say, why would you just close the doors? Why don't you try the self-practice? We're like, dude, we've had it on the market for a year. Like, we're done. It's time to go, right? I had listen, to me, chiropractic, like, I had no inclination of ever, like, changing my profession at all. I'm the one who would make fun of people in my class. That guy's doing real estate now? What a fucking loser. Or like, she's decided that she wants to do this instead? What an idiot. Why would you spend 8 years of your life, 150K plus education to say, I'll try this out for a while and see how it goes? Like, this was what I was doing for life. This was like, I am a chiropractor. It wasn't like I do chiropractic. It wasn't like a job. It was me. And it took a lot of work, and it took a lot of commitment, and really just trust, and like jumping into the unknown of like, I'm going to take this box, which is me. I'm Dr. Karen, chiropractor, and I'm just going to empty that box out, and I'm putting in a new me, which is at least the me that's, what I do for work, for business, for this piece of me, which is I'm mindset coach Karen. I'm leader of women Karen. I'm the one that talks about her life and shares lessons and helps women to really see their power, because I believe that if you, sister, fully plug into the power that is you as a wife, as a mother, as a woman, as a business person, that we will create more love in the world. Because see, that translates to more love in your marriage, more love towards your children when you feel like you're in power, more love towards yourself and your body, more love towards your clients and your business, all of it. All because I said, I'm not going to be in this box anymore. I'm going to empty it out. I had to create an opening for the new. Create an opening for the new, sister. Here's your more tip for today. Where do you need to do that? Where do you need to create an opening for new? It could be something small. Let me give you another quick example as just another context, as I gave you kind of like a big one, if you will, right? So I was just boxing. I actually went to the 9 a.m. class at my boxing gym. I usually just train one-on-one with my coach, but I'm getting as much training as I can leading up to my tournament, which is actually 7 days when I record this podcast. When this one comes out, it'll be like 5 days away. And so it was an over 40s class. My coach just started teaching these ones. And there was just one guy there. His name is Carlos. Great guy. And we were talking afterwards after the class, because he clearly has some fighting background. I'm like, dude, like, what's your sports background? Like, what have you done? Because you know what you're doing for just starting out. Like, you've got some background. And so he was asking me about mine. And I was like, he's like, dude, like, you just knew this for a year. Like, your shoulders are like, what is this? How do you get this way? And I'm like, well, I've lifted, dude, for like, from 15 to 47. I just stopped a year ago and haven't lifted since, and never saw it that way, because I always had in that box of what's part of me. My body is strong, and strong is going to equate to lifting weights, and has been, and is absolutely a way to get to that place, right? But I realized when I started boxing that I had to feel looser in my body. I had to lean out a little bit. I mean, that kind of happened gradually over time. It wasn't really intentional, but it happened. And with some changes in nutritional stuff as well too. I realized that I had to dump out of the box of like, I am a lifter. I'm a CrossFitter. I'm a girl who lifts weights. That's how I'm physically strong. And I had to put Karen as fighter, Karen as boxer into that box instead. So where is it for you that you need to create an opening for the new? I had to dump out the box of Karen CrossFitter, weightlifter, chick who lifts up heavy shit, to Karen who's a fighter, a boxer. So where is it for you, sister, that you need to create an opening for you in your life? I want you to journal and see what insights you're really discovering with this. And guess what? You get to get a journal sent to me for free, my gift to you. And you know what? I have done every piece of this. I've ordered shit. There's going to be some extra goodies in there that you don't know about yet. I'm physically touching every single one, packaging up. You're going to see everything when it comes to you. I'm the one who's going to the post office and sending this. And why am I doing this much work to send you this for free? Because I fucking care. Because I know how impactful journaling is. And because I know you got a bajillion of these at home and they all collect dust. This one will not. So here's what I want you to do. To get your free Women Wanting More limited edition journal, you're going to just take care of just the shipping, is this. You go to drkarenosburn.com/free journal. So that's drkarenosburn.com/free journal. And I will be sending that out to you in the next few weeks. So I will talk the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away of you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate
to get
you.
the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosburn.com/newsletter.